Bumpy landing. Oh, dear. I'm sorry. Now, joining my guest, Geoffrey Dickens, and Michael Buckley, is Patricia Crowther. And Pat is the High Priestess of Sheffield?
Of the Sheffield Coven, yes.
Of the Sheffield Coven. Pat, tell me how you first got involved in this. I mean, why did you first take up witchcraft?
Well, I was always looking for a mother figure, and I studied the subject. And, of course, I found people who were willing to initiate me, in particular Dr. Gerald Brazeau Gardner. He brought me into the craft. He was a great friend of my late husband, Arnold Crowther. And since that time, of course, that's 25 years ago, by the way.
25 years ago?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But since that time, I have opened covens of my own, and have my own coven, of course, as well.
What do you feel about people like Geoffrey here who have been, I'm giving your craft, I suppose, quite a lot of bad publicity
Yes,
recently?
I think I must dissociate myself from the horrific allegations of Mr. Dickens. Because the people in the craft today are very marvellous people. They are people you find everywhere, in every walk of life.
But
and not only here, but in America, in Australia, in Europe, everywhere. Many, many thousands of people.
Yeah, but are there people, do you think, who are using the craft perhaps as a front for other things?
Not the genuine craft, no. Because the person is 2 years before they're initiated, easily. And
No,
they are sort of looked at.
What I'm saying is that there are people, aren't there, who have done some pretty unspeakable things. It's been documented, and I'll come over to Michael Buckley as well, because there's some people from the church who've been involved in some pretty sordid things recently. They've been in the newspapers, who are using religion and various other things as a front. Would you accept that?
Not really, not the craft.
Not
anyway,
the craft.
Not the craft. But I do think that all these allegations are being put across onto the occult, onto the old religion, because there's so many priests of the Christian church being found guilty of child abuse over the last 2 years, and also through the last few months, actually. And yesterday there was about 4 in the paper.
Let me just calm down. Let me just go and ask Geoffrey if he thinks that perhaps this talk about child abuse, which is what you're really keen on, and stopping people doing this, obviously. I mean, do you think that the people like Patricia here, I don't think she's into anything like that at all. A charming lady, a lovely lady.
I worship the goddess.
Don't you think you're in danger perhaps of blackening everybody?
I don't think so, because when Vickers got up to nonsense, I went to Lambeth Palace and was just as angry about my own faith interfering with children. And I have absolute concrete evidence that these things are happening. And all I will say...
But you don't pick on people like Patricia more
no,
than you
I
would
don't.
pick on somebody if you knew...
She has nothing to fear from me.
I'm not frightened of you anyway.
Well, maybe not.
Thank you very much.
And I'm certainly not frightened of you.
No.
But I must say this, that she has nothing to fear from me, and nor do the genuine pagans. I don't approve of them because they're not in my religion. But that's a different thing altogether, not approving.
Sort of outlook,
no, it's not. No, I disapprove.
There's hundreds of religions in the world. And of course, there's lots of religions in England.
But may I say this? You see, we've seen a...
Let's go and join Pat Crowther again. She's going to show us an occultist ceremony. She's outside. Let's have a look at this.
I invoke thee and call upon thee, O mighty mother of us all, bringer of all fruitfulness, by seed and root, by stem and bud, by leaf and flower and fruit, by life and love, do we invoke thee. Holiest receiver, deign to bless and to consecrate this wine of life. So mote it be.
So mote it be. To the old ones, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. From me to thee, so mote it be.
To the old ones, merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again.
Well, here we go. Right, we're back. That was Patricia blessing the wine. I don't suppose you have anything to say about that, really, Michael, do you?
I'm a bit horrified by that.
You are a bit horrified about that. We'll take some more calls.
Theatricals.
Susan,
for people to believe in, really. I mean, everyone's got to have their own beliefs. I mean,
yeah. You don't find it offensive in any way or upsetting in any way? You just look at it as if it's another religion.
Really, I tend to sort of not follow religion really at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed, Richard. John from Grantham. Hello, John.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very well. There we are. Pat's bringing the wine into us at the moment.
Yeah, I'm watching on the TV at the moment.
What do you think about this then, John?
Right. Well, 2 questions firstly.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. My wife recently has been involved with clairvoyance, mediums, etc. And okay, I presume that they are on the white side of magic, and I presume that voodoo is on the black side of magic. I appreciate your guests are probably more on the black side than the white side. How does the white side affect them?
How does the white side affect them? Okay, Pat, please do sit down. We have a drink of... perhaps afterwards we'll get stuck into it. Are you a black witch or a white witch? Is there a distinction or not?
No. They're only white witches, because if you're initiated, you are a white witch, and there's only one way to get into the craft, and that is to be initiated.
So what are black witches? I mean, these people who are supposed to be bad and evil.
Well, I don't know who they are, but they're just people who use the craft, use the name of the craft, call themselves witches, you see. And they're nothing to do with it, really.
Okay, right, thank you, John. That's answered, hopefully, you. Chris from Derby, hello.
Hello, James.
Yes, Chris.
I've noticed that most of these questions are child abuse orientated, and my question is no different. What I'd really like to know is, if and when these occultists that are child molesting are caught, do they get jail sentences like any other criminal, or do they get specialist treatment because of their beliefs?
Okay, well, that's a rather strange question, I must admit. Do they get special treatment? I suppose we'll ask Jeffrey, because he'll know what happens. I mean, anybody convicted of child abuse will get the same sort of treatment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no offence to be a witch these days. I mean, it is an offence to abuse a child, and there are very stiff sentences applied to that, and that's what they're sentenced for.
What's worrying me, you see, Jeffrey, is really we're half talking about child abuse here when we were going to do a programme on the occult, and I think we're perhaps confusing people quite a lot, aren't we, really? That what you're saying is that a number of people under the guise of occultism are being involved in child abuse, as some have been involved perhaps under the guise of religion.
Well, I'd go further than that, because our friend here with her chalice has just admitted, by her own admission, that many people use her occult for black magic and black witchcraft and everything else.
The craft.
The craft. Use your craft, and that's just my point. What's the point I'm making?
We can't do anything about that, because the craft is autonomous.
Why do you get so upset, Patricia, when he says the occult and you want to call it the craft?
Because it is the craft. It's a religion. Okay. But we do not have children in the craft anyway. Nobody's admitted under the age of 25.
Okay. Can we get some more calls, Donna? Do you want to go and bring me some more calls in? Because I think we'll take some more calls. There are loads of calls coming in. And may I say that if you would like to write in, you know the address now. If you've got any views on this, we'll be coming back to the subject in a couple of weeks. Or if you have any kind of suggestions for subjects you'd like to see us deal with on the programme. Now, you gave me a present. I've got to open this before we go anywhere. Tell me, what is this?
It's a present for being so nice on the radio, really.
Oh, is it really?
I've listened to you for about 4 years.
That's very, very nice. It's not. I thought
sometimes when I'm lonely, I've been listening to you.
Isn't that sweet? I can put all my little things down in here, if you'll excuse the expression. Right, okay. Jerry is there. Hello, Jerry.
Oh.
Hi, Jerry. You're from Southport. What's your point? No point? Right, okay. Sandy or Susan? Hello.
Hello?
Who are you?
I'm Susan from Nottingham.
You're Susan from Nottingham?
Yes, I am.
Quickly, Susan. What can we do for you?
I would like to ask the guy from the church.
The guy from the church? Michael Buckley, over here.
If it's so strong, why do people, does he think, are turning to the occult?
If the church is so strong and so good, why is it people are turning to the craft?
Well, I feel, I said earlier, James, about this programme, that it grieved me that we kept it, we confined it to child abuse. I think it's much deeper, and it's much wider than that. I think the church has lost out a lot, and lost out in the mysterious, and lost out on what is within people,
you know
the
why?
mystery of self.
You know why? It's because the church haven't got any glamorous people like Pat here. You know, you want a few... Perhaps that's what it is.
Well, now that they're having women bishops, the Anglican Church, perhaps they're going to supply that deficiency. I don't know.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But I would say...
I don't see any difference, really, between flying through the air on a broomstick and walking on water.
Oh, well, now, of course, you see...
No,